online here with me, I got Robert Crowe, who is our Fisher metal detector representative there. So he's coming to the Moon Lake Gathering, the 2025 Moon Lake Gathering on August 14th, 15th, and 16th, and he's going to teach you guys how to do metal detectors, show the tips and the tricks. And so, with that said, Robert, just tell me a little bit how you got involved in metal detecting and things like that.
Well, a number of years ago, I was a scuba diver, and I just love being in the water, but I love treasure hunting. So I bought a detector to go scuba diving with, and I was finding all kinds of cool stuff: sunglasses and keys, cell phones, drones, and everything you can imagine people lose in a lake. I was finding, and when the scuba diving season was up, it started to get a little chilly. I'm like, well, why can't I just do this on the land? So bought me a land detector, and I started hanging out with a couple of friends, joined a club, and we would detect 3, 4, 5 times a week. And I lived in South Carolina at the time, so we found Revolutionary War treasures, Civil War treasures, and everything in between, and pop tops, the bottle caps. You know, you're not a true metal detectorist unless you have 1,000 pop tops and pull tabs in your bag.
And it doesn't take a lot to get to that many if you're out detecting a lot, because I think them things multiply under the ground, man. They're all over the place.
Absolutely. So, you find a detector that can discriminate between the treasure and the pull tabs. And that's kind of where I got to in my metal detecting career. And earlier this year, I decided, hey, I love metal detecting, but there was nobody out there selling detectors in Utah that actually taught people how to use detectors. These big box stores, they have great stuff, and I love going to the big box stores. But if you ask a salesperson how to set up your metal detector, they look at you like you're speaking some version of some Pharisee, Phoenician Greek or something. So that's kind of how I got started doing this.
And you're exactly right. I used to a long time ago, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I used to sell and rent metal detectors, prospecting equipment. But you're 100% right. When people buy a metal detector, it's great to have somebody to show you how to use it, because you can have the greatest metal detector in the world, but if you don't know what all them whistles and bells do, if you don't know how to set it up properly, if you don't know how to use it properly, you'll miss a lot of stuff. And a case in point, my very first metal detector was my wife bought me an old Whites, and it was just all metal. You couldn't discriminate anything. I had to dig up everything. And because I had to dig up everything, I found a lot of stuff. But that's what I was used to. I saved up a lot of money and bought me one of these high dollars metal detectors that had all the whistles and bells. And first thing I did was I took the family to Disneyland, and I took that detector with me, and I went onto the beach, and I was going to find me some diamond rings and all kinds of stuff, and I never found hardly nothing. And a guy came to me. He says, "Hey, I just lost my wedding ring over here. Can you help me find it?" And I thought, no problem. I never could find it. Well, it wasn't till later I learned that I put it on a factory setting that notched out pull tabs, which notches, well, it wasn't notched, it discriminated out pull tabs, which automatically discriminated out gold rings. And so unless you know how to use that, how that discrimination works, all that, you're going to lose a lot. So 100%, they need to find somebody like you that's willing to show all the tips, tricks, and how to set it up and what settings does what.
Right, absolutely. I've gone out looking for rings when I first started, and I couldn't find them, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" Until I go back, I look online, I'm searching because I had nobody to teach me. I bought mine from an online manufacturer or an online company, and I was just like, "What the heck?" And I go out in the yard and I bury some stuff, and if I can find it, I can find it. And you think a ring somebody lost, it's sitting right under like a half an inch of something or in the deep grass, and you just can't find it until you realize turn everything off, turn all of your notching and everything on. So you've got iron, you've got your full range of detecting skill or detecting range, and you go out there and find it. After I did that, I learned how to do that. then I was able to help other people find their lost rings, even silly things like their property markers, So, but yeah, you've got to learn the machine, and every single machine is different, but there are basics that every machine, typical machine will use. With the VLF, which is a very low frequency machine, and that's what probably 95% of the machines right now are at. They're the VLFs. And I've got a few of them up here. Most of the Fisher machines are VLF. They do have a pulse induction machine, which is really, really good for gold, but it's currently off the market, and I hear there's another one getting ready to be launched. So, fingers crossed, we'll find a good pulse induction machine. Fisher does have an underwater machine. I don't carry it because in Utah, there's not a lot of people going underwater.
That's right.
If they need it, I can order it and I have it here in a few days from the manufacturer in Texas.
So if you're coming to the Moon Lake Gathering, we got all kinds of cool stuffs going on: treasure hunting, Bigfoot, UFO. And Rob here will be here if you just want to know about metal detectors, how to use them. Rob will be there. Hit him up. He'll show you how to use them, demonstrate them for you, let you use it. You let him use it, find something with it there, Robert.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to have some machines that everybody can test out. So out there in the arena, we're going to set up a little garden, which is things that we go out there and plant, and people can go out there and find. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have at our table, in addition to the main Fisher prize, we're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff. But did you know that Fisher doesn't just make metal detectors? They make night vision.
And I was just going to hit you up about that. So let's hear about them, because night vision can be used for a lot of different things. And one of the things people are using night vision for is looking up into the sky and seeing things. And I know you used to kind of be a director, something to do with MUFON.
Yeah, in Utah, I used to be the field director for the Utah chapter, and I've got my own story, and I'll actually share that on the Thursday night open mic. So
Cool.
you might like it. It's a very short story, but it kind of got me curious. But being with MUFON, I got to see all kinds of other things that people were sharing from UFO sightings and interdimensional beings, and there's
Really?
an entire gamut of things.
Wow.
So when I was in school, I actually did a documentary called Basin Unexplained, and it was based on many things that people had seen in the Uinta Basin, which is right exactly where we're going to be having the event. I used to work on the Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch show. I was a medic on the show, and so I got to see the behind the scenes of all that. And I've talked to a lot of people that worked on the Skinwalker show. So people coming are I think, going to be really surprised how much knowledge is going to come from people who live in the area, and they're going to hear some amazing, amazing stories. So
Yeah. And so tell me about these night vision goggles, because you said that there's one there that's got some unique features and things like that on them.
So there's a good one and there's the best one. I think there's a better one in between. I just don't carry it. But the small X Gen one, it's basically it looks exactly like one of those golf laser pointers. You can check the distance, but this one you can use it and click through it, and you can actually see at night with one of these. Now this unit right here, it's a binocular, so you can actually look with both eyes. But the best part about this is it has an SD card in here, and you can record anything you're looking for. Another
Really?
a nice feature with this is it's got a tripod, a screw on, so you can actually sit it on a tripod and start the recording and just have it record out there like you would just any other kind of a camera, but under night vision capabilities.
So I know last year we went out to Space Wolf Ranch which is Research Ranch, which is right next door. Their fence lines butt up together of Skinwalker Ranch, and we was out there, and one of the guys had the night vision goggles, and I was absolutely surprised, amazed of what all you could see with them versus without it. I was absolutely amazed. And you're saying to be able to record what you're seeing also, man, that would be pretty cool, because we seen some funky things. I really don't know what I seen. And this first time I've ever seen anything like this. Things would come out. They would come out from the middle of nowhere. They just appear three,
Right.
4 at a time, and then they'd zip over here, zip over there, zip back, and then they'd go back where they came from and disappeared. It wasn't no airplane. I don't know. I couldn't tell what it was. It was so far away. It looked like a moving star or something, but it was absolutely crazy. But then when you put on them night vision goggles, it was amazing of how much more you could see.
Right. So a lot of the night vision you can find online is made in China. The thing with Fisher is all of their products are made right here in the United States in their El Paso, Texas facility. So you might be able to find a pair of these for $500 online. They come from China. These are less than $500, and
Really?
they're made in the United States. That's with recording capabilities.
You're
These little
kidding.
guys are $60 a pop.
You're kidding.
And look how small that is. You can put it in a pocket. You can put it on in your pants pocket or in your gear, and just have something like, oh, look, what do I see? Oh, wow, that's kind of cool. So, and they've
Holy.
got different variations of this. They've got one that has a laser on it. I don't have it right now, but and it's not junk night vision, because Fisher also makes military grade night vision for law enforcement and the military use. So this is not some rinky-dink night vision crap, I guess you could say. They do a really good job.
I'm absolutely blown away by the price you just told me, because I was expecting several $1,000s. I'm absolutely blown. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
get a pair of them from you.
yeah. Well, I'll give you can have one for several $1,000s if you'd like to donate to the Robert Fund, but um, so we'll have these out there, and we'll have gold prospecting stuff. We'll have a wide array of treasure hunting gadgets that people can look at, touch, and feel. And most of the products that I carry are all made in the United States. That's one of my big things. Being former military, Made in America has been a thing with me for the last 40 years.
Man, Robert, I like you. And that's the way it ought to be. We've given all our industry away, to overseas. And if there's ever a major world war or something, we're in trouble because of all of our industries has gone overseas. So that's great. And we should support the American made factories, the American made workers. So I like that.
Yeah, me too. I really do.
Anything else you want to say, Robert?
Well, so I don't usually have sales, especially when I go to a show. But what I'm going to do for everybody that responds to me at my email address, robert@treasurehound.net, I'm going to give you a 15% coupon off any one item that we have. That includes detectors, night vision, gold prospecting equipment, picks. Like I have picks that come from Idaho. I may have a couple of shovels from Casey with Excalibur shovels. That's 15% off anything, but that's only if they send me a text or an email to robert@treasurehound.net, and then they can come up and talk to me. If you're military or a veteran, I'll give you an extra 5%.
Awesome. So, you're saying Treasure Hound, and that's the name of your metal detecting company. Your store there is. Can they find you online now? People online now, or?
Yep, treasurehound.net. You can find me. If you're looking for gold prospecting gear, just go to Google and type in gold prospecting in Salt Lake City or whatever, and you'll find me. I'm up like number 1 or 2. I'm on the map. I work out of my home, so it's by appointment only, but um, I'm usually around.
Awesome. And I just want to say that there used to be quite a few metal detecting stores and things around, and there's not a lot around anymore. And you're 100% right. If you're local, if they're there, you're in the Salt Lake area. If it's somebody from the Salt Lake area or even Utah County, man, it's worth their time if they're looking for something to go up and visit you, because it is worth a lot just to have the education, the showing how to set them up and things like that, because that will shortcut your learning curve and help you find stuffs a lot faster than if you got to learn this stuff on your own, because it's a steep learning curve.
Well, that, some of these detectors can get expensive to buy. So we also rent detectors for we've had a couple of people who are looking for these treasures, and they've told me their story, but I'm not going to share that because
Right.
that's their story.
Yep.
They'll show up here and they'll rent a detector for 30 or 50 bucks a day, and they'll go out and they'll come back, like, oh, we didn't find it today. And so after a while they've been renting one. I got one guy that's rented 5 times. He's getting ready to have paid for a detector, so I'm gonna make him a deal after all the rents that he's paid.
Robert, and you said you can't tell their stories, and you're 100% right. You can't tell other people's stories, especially if they want them kept a secret. But I remember when I used to rent and sell metal detectors and stuff, so I had a lot of people would rent from me, and I heard some amazing stories, some crazy stories, and that was a great way for me to meet the people and hear some great stories, and so you're 100% right there. But like I said, if you're in the market or you're thinking about a metal detector, you definitely want to buy from somebody who's local that can help you shortcut your learning curve. So, and let you also, you might not know what type of a detector you want, and not every detector is good for every type of treasure hunting. So just to go online and just buy something, it might not be exactly what you needed for what you wanted to do. Different detectors are great for different things. And so with your expertise to help them guide them to the right detector they need, that's worth a lot too. So
It is, that was my big thing when I started this, is I wanted people to be able to come over and hold it and feel it and kind of touch it and get an understanding of what this detector does versus what this detector does. I mean, this is bigger and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that this is the best detector for a person. If you're looking for gold, there's a couple of really good gold machines that we carry. But if you're looking for an all-around detector to find not just gold, but relics and coins, then we can hook you up with stuff like that too. Because some people, like you said, they don't know what they want. They've heard that this is the best detector. And I'm like, well, this manufacturer's the best, this manufacturer's the best, this manufacturer's the best. And so when I am talking with somebody, I ask them what their budget is, not because I'm trying to sell them to the max of their budget, but if you come in and say you want a gold machine that does relics and it's waterproof and it's this, and then you tell me your budget is $200, I'm going to say you're going to have to bump that budget up by $300 or $400. So you can get whatever you want, you just have to pay for it. So and then I've had other people like, oh, I want to buy this detector, it's $1,800, but I can sell them a $500 detector that's going to be easier to learn. It's going to be a lower cost of entry, and you can also get additional coils to go on that machine for way less than the $1,800. So everybody's different, and I like people to come in and try what they're looking for and custom fit something for them. Now, if I don't have something and they need it right away, I'll be honest. Like, hey, go to Amazon and buy this and bring it back. I'll help you, because sometimes Amazon's got great deals. 2 days you can get your machine. But then if you don't have anybody to teach it to you, you're kind of dead in the water right there. You're stuck watching videos and reading a manual that's may or not have been translated 3 different times.
yeah, you're 100% right. Getting with somebody that knows how to do it, the tips and the tricks is a lot better than trying to figure it out yourself. I'm a 100% believer that having somebody teach you versus trying to figure it out on your own, trying to read the manual, so that's a valuable thing you're bringing to the table, Robert.
People don't have to come and buy anything just to talk to us and get the knowledge, because our knowledge is free, and we've got detectors starting at like $110. So everybody could go home with something, or if they buy it there, we can ship it to them if they've traveled from out of town. And We can hook everybody up.
So with that said, I just want to say everybody that needs to come out to check your booth out, check what you're doing, learn, ask questions, ask Robert some questions, ask the experts some questions, and Robert, I'm gonna grab one of them night visions from you and go outside and look for a UFO while we're there.
All right, this one's for you, Terry.
It's right there in the area in the base. There's a lot of strange things goes on right where we're at there. There's UFO sightings, there's Bigfoot sightings, and there's the Spanish treasure stories in the Uinta Mountains, all right there where we're going to be on August 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2025. And this is one event you do not want to miss. And the price is right. We should be charging $100 for this easily, with all the people that are coming in from all across the country, with all the knowledge that's going to be there. Easily, we should be charging, but we're doing it for free. This is a way to give back to the community. Robert's his way to give back to the community for free to come and put this together and show you guys. So with that said, Robert, that's a wrap, and we'll see you at the event in a few weeks.
All right, Terry. See ya. Thanks.